What's up, beautiful world? This is TNA, top-notch audio, and welcome to another episode of r/slash Entitled Parents. Our first story will be, Mama Karen wanted me to turn off my TV when her family walks by my apartment because her kid is grounded. And finally, you're blocking the drive-thru. If this is your first time listening, remember to hit that subscribe button on the bottom right-hand corner. If this is not your first time, welcome back. Enjoy the stories. And this story is posted by u/painted sequoia. Mama Karen wanted me to turn off my TV when her family walks by my apartment because her kid is grounded. I just moved into an apartment last week. So far, everyone I've met in passing has been nice. No one has been too loud at unreasonable hours, arguing with each other, stealing parking spaces, and other typical share space craziness. Yet, at least. Only been here a week. I did, however, encounter a Mama Karen and her 6-year-old son. My apartment is one of those half-in-the-ground units with 2 other floors on top. As such, the top of my patio wall is level to the walking path. If I have my blinds open, you can easily see into my living room and kitchen. This honestly doesn't bother me. The weather is finally really nice here, so after work yesterday, I opened my patio sliding door and blinds to let the cooler air in while playing some Minecraft. After a while, I could hear a couple of women talking outside a few units down, just general chit-chat. I also heard a smaller kid running around, messing with the gravel along the pathways and generally being a bored kid while mommy talked with her friend. Really, no big deal at all. Then it happened. I heard one of the women call for the kid. Jason, 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 get over here. Jason. Fake name for protection. I looked up to see the kid standing on the path next to my unit, transfixed on the TV. Uh-oh. He didn't answer quick enough. Mama Karen came stomping over to him and jerked his arm to force him to look at her while she yelled in his face about answering her and to not watch TV, especially someone else's. I thought the way she was acting was overkill, but let it be. He's not my kid, and I'm not a parent at all, just to my fur babies, 2 cats. I did pay attention for if things got worse to jump in, but didn't stare. I only looked over when she called out to me to apologize for her son. Note, not for her behavior. I said it was fine. Mama Karen took him back over to her friend and they continued talking. Eventually, the kid started playing around near them again. Soon, he was back over at my patio looking in, watching me play. Soon after that, I hear Mama Karen yell at him again. This time he flinched. Hard, it broke my heart to see the effects of abuse in action, and was just frozen staring at her. This time I jumped up and went to my patio door. She was already at him by them and yelling at him again. I tried to interject to say I truly didn't mind that he was watching me play. This is where the Karen aspect comes in. She turned to me, sickly sweet, the demon gone for the moment, and kindly explained that dear Jason was grounded and not allowed to even look at a TV. I said, bummer dude, to him in sympathy. She didn't like that I addressed him and not her. I also don't think she liked that I showed him sympathy instead of instantly taking her side, even though I had no idea why he was punished in the first place. I wouldn't doubt if it was some asinine, non-existent reason on her part, or her being bothered by normal child behaviors. She then asked me something that blew my mind. Can you please shut off your TV when we're out here? We are usually out here for some outside time for about an hour a day. Or you can just shut your window and blinds. In GL, the people pleaser I have been raised to be almost said, oh, sure, no problem, and was going to do it. Then I stopped myself thinking, what? Telling me what to do in my house? I'm trying to have a shinier spine. I told her no, I won't. Oh boy, that sure as hell is her trigger word. I thought she was going to reach in and jerk me around and yell at me like I was her child. The look was so instantly pissed off. She again explained the situation, fully expecting me to cooperate this time. She laid out her case. She made the demand again. Not a full question this time. I again told her no. I came home to relax, and this is how I do it. She asked me if I have kids. Uh-oh. I'm solidly child-free, and according to the laws of parenting, my thoughts and opinions are completely and instantly invalid unless I pop out at least one entire, mostly full-term crotch spawn. I told her no and she smirked. I thought so. I was ready for a lecture on how to handle kids properly or something, but she just jerked her son away back towards the other woman, who I assumed was still there. She said something as she went, but I didn't really hear it, so I don't know if it was to me, her son, or her friend. Maybe even grumbling to herself. I hadn't seen those two before yesterday, but apparently they are out there for at least 1 hour daily around that time. There's a pool, a few barbecue pits, and a grassy area outside my unit in between the surrounding units and buildings. I get to see all the good doggos walk by, and it makes my day. I really hope she doesn't cause issues for me. I just want to live there and not be bothered. I'm not going to help her parent her child. No one else in the whole world should be expected to accept her. I just don't get how she thinks she can ask a total stranger to turn off the TV in their home because she's punishing her child and hers. Like, no. It doesn't work that way. I'm proud of myself for standing my ground. As brief as the encounter was, I worry for the kid though. And this story is posted by u/Rambo Robertsons 20. You're blocking the drive-thru. This happened earlier today. I drive a cement mixer and was just getting done pouring a drive-thru for a new Chick-fil-A going up in the area. The drive-thru is fresh and wet cement. There are construction fences all around, but the main building structure is completed. The fences all say, "Stop, construction staff only," except for one that has a Chick-fil-A coming soon sign. I'm washing down the truck when I hear loud honking, not thinking anything of it as I'm in a shopping center. I keep washing the inside of the truck down. I then hear more honking and look over to the front to see a Karen, EM, with her head out of her window, full Karen haircut, then screaming, "Move out of the way, you're blocking the ducking drive-thru." I see she has 2 empty car seats in the back and a sticker in her window saying "Baby's on board." I'm glad her kids weren't in the car when this happened. I'm not a fan of cussing. I came down off the ladder to go and explain that it isn't open yet. As I walk toward the car, she starts moving her car closer to me. She is now about 2 feet from the front of my truck. My truck is back to the building. I keep thinking, how exactly does she expect me to get out? As I get to her window, I let her know nicely that the Chick-fil-A location is not open yet and inform her that she will need to move back so I can move my truck from the fenced-off area. EM is having none of it. EM is adamant that I move my truck out of the way so she can get into the drive-thru. Well, I tried. I thought. I asked her to move her car back so I can move my truck out of the fenced area. Once again, she refused to comply and started beeping her horn again. I've had it. My truck horn, for those who don't know what one sounds like, are very, very loud. If you're too close, they can scare you and even give you a ringing in your ears. As she was refusing to move and constantly honking her horn, I decided to show her mine. Honk, 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 and I started to move forward. EM moved her car back quickly. She must not have checked her mirrors or blind spot because she backed up into a stop sign that was about 75 feet away. Of course, EM got out and came over to start blaming me for her own actions. I forced her to back up into the sign. I am 100% at fault for her car damage, and I rushed her car so she had to avoid me by backing up as fast as she could. I love this one. EM called the police soon after. The site foreman saw the entire event, but he doesn't speak much English and likely already had to deal with various people trying to get into his site, so he just sat back and watched until the police arrived. We each told our stories, and of course EM made hers sound like it was a life or death situation where she was a kind woman just trying to make it to the new Chick-fil-A for lunch, and I was blocking it just to be cruel to her for no reason of her own. That without warning, I charged her vehicle and forced her to rush and back into the stop sign. The officer came over and asked if it was true. I replied, "No, sir." I have a dash cam with audio. You can see if you could play the file on a computer. Lucky for me, our foreman offered his laptop. EM's story fell apart quick. The officer's face turned to a frown that I swear could have made the Pope feel guilty. He walked over to her, went straight to his handcuffs, and began to read her rights to her. EM was charged with obstruction of justice, reckless driving, and misuse of 911. As she was being placed into the back of the police charger, I saw a man coming over with a 2-child stroller that had 2 babies riding in it. The officer explained the situation to him, and he honestly didn't look surprised. He seemed to just nod and walked quietly over to the car, took pictures, and unloaded his kids with the stroller and left. I feel bad that he had to go through that, but I am under the impression that it wasn't the first time she had done something like this. I didn't press charges, but I reported everything to my company for their discretion too. I feel like I've ran into more and more of these forms of people since COVID began. Just info, my dash cam isn't cheap. It is built into the truck and has a back and front camera with a microphone that activates when the parking brake is set. When driving the truck, it is pretty loud that the microphone wouldn't pick up anything but engine noise, which is why it's activated when parked. Edit. For the charges, I honestly didn't ask. The officer told me what she was or could be charged for, and I accepted his statements as the situation was handled and over with. I didn't hear her last name, or I'd be online right now trying to find the booking charges. Oh yeah, those were two amazing stories. To hear the best stories of the week, click on the video in the top left-hand corner. To hear more Reddit stories all related to what you just heard, click on the video in the top right-hand corner. If you have not already done so, click on the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner. Once again, this is TNA, Top Notch Audio. Thank you for listening and have yourself a great day.